Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, we're going through the loyalty chest box 6, and this time we're gonna have these few as per here. As usual, I'm gonna go through R2, R4, and R6, and also that Divinate as well, because you're gonna have at least one copy of them before you're able to get their reso for free. So I will be skipping through the R0. I'll assume you already have them and their value about R2, R4, R6, and their Divinate. So I'll make the tier list here. So the first Esper here is gonna be Iliad. So Iliad R2 here, give him like CD extension every hit. Every hit will CD extend the enemy is pretty good, but to be honest, we don't really use Iliad at all now. That is very hard to use him, so definitely a no. Then the next one is Phantom Sister. So Phantom Sister R2 here will make her S2 able to have a revive effect, and also some yeah, basically it's a free revive effect. So for Phantom Sister, I would say it's not bad. Like, not a must get effect, but the revive here actually come in very handy in specific content, not like all content, because usually use Phantom Sister is for her speed leader buff and maybe for the S3 defense buff and also AP down. But revive come in very handy, so I would say it's not bad, but I won't say it's the best effect. Then for Biotina here, R2 effect, the target dispel changes to 2. Doesn't really change too much, though definitely a no. Then the next one is Ashley. So Ashley R2 here gives shield, shield 100% of Ashley attack to everyone with S3. To be honest, it's pretty not bad, just that there's no content for her anymore now, so definitely a no. Then for height, no as well, because there's no content for him to actually make him good. So if you give him R2, nothing changes. Then for reso effect, for tricky R2 effect here, we inflict speed down on the target for 2 turns. I would say it's not bad, because tricky S3 here will apply dispel and then miss straight up. So if you can even apply speed down, will make them more annoying, because there's more debuff, so you have to dispel them, and actually dispelling them will make Tricky's passive trigger as well. So it's a pretty annoying effect, and speed down is very powerful, especially in PvP content. Then Archibald R2 effect here, reduce the target max HP capacity upon critical hit, is pretty good, but I would say it's not really that good value. Then the next one is going to be Matthew. So Matthew R2 effect here makes you doesn't need crit rate on his stat as long as the target is able to apply spark. So like bosses, like in Falsetto Fantasy, the bosses is able to get debuffed by spark, so your Matthew will 100% crit on that. But if there's like shadow bosses that cannot land debuff on them, then your Matthew need to be 100% crit rate. So if your Matthew is actually able to build him actually land the debuff, he doesn't need to build crit rate, he can go full out crit damage DPS. So I would say the value of R2 Matthew is actually pretty good if among all these choices here. Then the other one is Nora. So Nora R2 effect here is every time she counter attack will increase the AP of Nora teammate by 10%. So every time you hit Nora trigger counter attack. It's not just counter attack anymore, it's also an AP push for all your teammates. It's a very useful effect, especially in Andras, especially in Fafnir as well, or if you're using Nora in shadow bosses. Will also Desolate Land is also very useful, because these are few content that Nora actually shine. It's basically like she can shine in almost all PvE content wherever you need very strong DPS. Nora and Matthew actually is like a same rank. One is dealing raw damage, one is dealing crit damage. So this is for the R2, and now let's take a look at the R4. Right, so for the R4 effect here, Iliad here is definitely going for the no. It's basically reducing his own, consume his own max HP and deal extra true damage, but there's nothing much you can actually do for it. Like, you don't even use him, and then the effect here isn't that good as well. Then the other one is going to be Biotina. So Biotina R4 effect here, the first ability cast in the battle deals extra damage. It doesn't matter as well, because it won't change anything. Then Phantom Sister R2 effect, when granting buff, it will heal themselves as well. So Phantom Sister have a lot of heal, like let's say S2 effect is an AoE heal, and the AoE heal will make Phantom Sister actually heal themselves a lot as well. So I will say it's not bad because it's extra healing, and you that Phantom Sister don't actually yoink your other Esper's heal slot. Then Ashley here, every surviving enemy grants her accuracy, doesn't really matter. Then height, R2 R4 effect here, when any ally is currently not alive, crit damage plus 40%, doesn't really matter as well. I would say that it's actually not bad, but it doesn't really matter now for height. Like getting his reso is pretty useless unless they actually buff height in the future. Then Archibald first ability cast in the battle deals extra damage, no as well, doesn't really matter because if you use Archibald, it's more for his control instead of his damage. Like he deals extra damage, yeah, but it's not his main point. Then Tricky R4 effect here, upon successfully dispelling or stealing buff, will inflict max HP capacity reduce 4% as well. So usually here Tricky will do damage, which is the current HP damage, and now not just damage, it will also reduce the enemy max HP capacity. So if you're using Tricky, I would say its R4 effect value is pretty good. Then for Nora here, R4 effect, when this Esper is not attacking on their own turn, which is counter attack or assist, will do extra damage, so definitely the best as well. Then for Mateo here, R4 effect, when HP is below 60%, lifesteal plus 15%. So basically a self-built Hades, but not really too game-changing, I would say. So definitely just a not bad. So the highest value for R4 is still going to be Nora, and the rest that is at no remains at no. Then now let's take a look at R6. Alright, so for R6 effect here, Iliad, this ability won't miss and cannot be resist. So this time I will push Iliad until not bad. So if you are actually a PvP player that enjoy live PvP like RTA or Arena, all those things, or maybe Point War, that you can actually manual your content, then Iliad might be a Esper for you to play, and the R6 effect value is pretty high if you like to play Iliad. If you don't care about Iliad, then don't get his reso. Then for Biotina R6 effect here, ignoring defense no longer have a condition is pretty good. If you're using Biotina as your Point War who you counter, then it will say the value is not bad, but not really that often, because if you are a longer player, you don't really have to build Biotina, and if you have Biotina R6, that's a pretty bad luck, to be honest. Then the next one is gonna be Phantom Sister. So Phantom Sister here, R6 effect is the best value, because when she dies, she'll instantly cast the S2 for free. So you can actually cast S2 to revive someone already and AoE heal, and if she accidentally die, then she will also cast the S2 for free one more time to revive everyone. So basically the R6 here will make the Phantom Sister become a non-Shimmer Cecilia. So it will actually make her very strong and very useful in PvP content. I usually use Phantom Sister in my triple track, because whenever I want to revive, I'll just slot in Phantom Sister, because she can buff my team, she can revive as well and become a budget Cecilia, or even a better Cecilia. Then for Ashley here, every time she casts any ability, she'll get one Rainbow Shield. To be honest, doesn't really change anything unless they buff her. Archibald R6 effect resets the cooldown of Carnival Sonnet. I would say it's not bad. If you actually use Archibald with Mavis together, which is not really often already, usually people use Mavis with other team, but if you use Archibald in a Mavis comp and Archibald want to reset his S3 more often, then the effect is pretty good. Then for height, no, because he's not really that strong anymore, so no. Then for Tricky R6 effect here, HP reduction won't be lower than 50% of the target max HP. Basically, that's extra max HP reduction, so I would say it's not bad. It's like his R4 effect is max HP reduced max HP capacity in his kit. Then Mateo here, R6 effect is not really that good, because Mateo R6 effect here, if Mateo have 10 or more stack of the internal flame, then he will get stand off. But most of the time, if you are going for Mateo, and then your Mateo don't really die, like even in PvE, usually where you use Mateo is in PvE content, like like in Fafnir, Shadow Bosses, Falsetto Fantasy. Usually those kind of content Mateo won't die. So the standoff value isn't that high because Mateo don't usually die, and not to mention his R4 have lifesteal effect. Then the last one here is going to be Nora. So Nora R6 effect here, I would say is not bad or best, somewhere here. But personally, I'll put it best here because the counter attack chance instead of 50% now is going to be 100%. So I really like stuff when it go until very consistent. So it's going to be very consistent counter attack now. You don't have to go through the RNG layer. So I'll say Nora is still going to be the best value for this. So overall, you will notice that Nora is actually the best value within this box here, because even at R2, R4, R6, Nora have the best reso value among all kind of face. Then now we're gonna take a look at their Divinate. Okay, Iliad Divinate here, when casting S3, is able to grant him defense, basically giving him more tankiness and DPS. But no, don't waste your Divinate on him. Then the next one is going to be Biotina. So Biotina one is when you're casting your S1, then if the target has no buff, then 50% chance to pursuit attack with another S1. So basically, free S1 with buff blocker. So I would say it's not bad if you're using Biotina for your Dark Star Lord. But other than that, the value of Biotina isn't that good. So should I put her not bad? Yeah, I think not bad. Like it does help a bit, not much, but it does help. Then for Fatal Sister here, when any ally revive, their AP actually get pushed, basically making her more like a Cecilia. So not bad effect, cause free AP push. Then the other one is gonna be Mateo. Mateo Divinate here, when the target have spark, your Fire Punch final damage increase. Fire Punch is Mateo's S3, and he's a DPS, and he'll always land the spark unless the boss won't get debuffed, so he have the best value for Divinate as well. Height here, his Divinate is actually pretty good for him, but there's no content for him, so no. Ashley, Divinate here will grants her 100% chance of gaining one Rainbow Bridge at the start of their turn. To be honest, it's also a very good Divinate on her, but she have no content of users, so no. Then for Tricky, when casting Green Flame, inflicting speed down. Green Flame is S1, so now Tricky S1 will also land speed down. So, but I don't really think it's really worth the Divinate value. Then for Archibald Divinate here is pretty good because after you cast S3, there's also a 100% chance of extending all enemy. Not casting S3. Casting S2 will also extend their CD, which is very powerful effect in PvP content. Then the last one is going to be Nora. So Nora Divinate here, I would say the best as well. Not just the extra stats, it's also at the start of the round she will get Rainbow Shield, and Rainbow Shield is the effect of Anna. So she's able to block effect, block damage, and then give her a free counter attack trigger. So this will be the Divinate priority tier list as well for their value. So basically you will see Nora is also the one that is the most important within this box. So my own recommendation, save your box just to all in either Mateo or Nora. That will be your safest bet, unless you are like, let's say Fatal Sister R5, then you want to get Fatal Sister R6 first instead getting Nora to R2, something like that. Depends on your own priority, right? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this video actually helped you guys out, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is Gen MP, Yaki Shiba Tails, Kami, thank you so much for your support. And for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wilderness, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwalks, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Marlene Williams, Ium Cragran, Riku Fred X Iris, Calamity, Rocco Stangions, thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest 10. Thank you so much for Code Wilderness, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.